There's one. Set for stun.
Three guys sitting in a dark room that smells like bad cucumbers.
Don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
Inconceivable!
Now featuring 11 listeners.
This is the Unique Geek.
You slimy scumbag, get on your face and give me 25.
This is the Unique Geek.
And welcome to another edition of 50 Days of Dragon Con, where our hit to miss data accuracy about 75%. And joining me as always is the data nerd herself, Leigh. Leigh, how you doing?
Hey, I'm not a data nerd. Yeah, hi. It's 5. We are recording this. It is 5 days till DragonCon. Which I still am just like, oh, did we go 5 days? And John, your light isn't on your face again.
Oh, well, I mean, that's
Oh.
fine. It just matters of where I'm leaning in. I've got to fix my whole lighting situation.
Okay.
today, so.
Well, you had a problem anyway.
I've got
earlier
lots.
when we
We've had lots of problems. I don't know what happened to the website last night. It all of a sudden decided to, but I don't know. Whatever.
Well,
As you're hearing this,
I
it won't
just wanna
matter.
tell
It will have
people-
been up and fixed time ago. I mean, it's up technically right now, but whatever. Anyway, what were we saying?
well, I don't know what you were saying, but I was going to say
This is-
people that are coming in a couple of days,
Mhm.
cross your fingers, pray to whatever deity you want to pray to. But the weather right now, next week, starts in the low 80s. 83, 81, 82, and 80 on Thursday.
That is
So let's hope that happens.
pretty awesome.
Let's hope
to be
that
honest with you.
goes. That would be very, very wonderful. But that's the 10K forecast, 10-day 10K, 10-day
Yeah.
forecast.
As we
Do
record,
also remember,
as we
as we
record
record.
this, we are 5 days and 2 hours out from, or 21 hours. Excuse me,
exactly,
21
Yeah.
hours out.
and which is just
days.
hard to believe. Even there. But I think there are a lot of people that do a lot of planning for DragonCon, and we have
Those
Regina.
fools. We're
I
just
know,
going right
we
to
have
it.
Regina.
Just going right to it.
I'm going right to it. We have Regina, who is the director of programming. And if you
am.
want to talk about somebody who does planning, this woman plans
Time is
and
just
then
ticking
moves
away
plans
on her.
and has so many other plans.
I do.
How you doing?
I am well. I actually was just putting a panel change in just this
Okay.
second.
There we
So
go.
I figured
Things-
you usually vamp a little longer than
No, we did.
I
I'm
thought I
sorry.
might have a minute. And
We
every minute
can do
counts
more.
this
Nothing.
when you're
nothing is
5
going
days
smoothly.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you're 5 days out. So
Hi. I mean,
how are you?
hi. I'm good. How are you? How are you feeling?
Well, I am well.
You are
I'm
well?
tired. That's what I am. I'm
How's this?
tired.
How's this year?
Yeah.
It's that time
How's
of
this
year
year
where I
been?
don't do sleep is kind of optional. So yeah.
How's this
But-
year looking so far for you, as far as the
Looking
show
really
is
good.
concerned? Yeah.
It's looking really good. Yeah, so we've got some exciting new people that are coming this year.
Mhm.
So it's always a good time. And yes, we have a lot of cool stuff going on.
And we've already talked about the app on the show. We know that it's updated. There's one last big update coming, Regina.
Correct.
When will that be?
Well, it will probably come on Tuesday of the week of DragonCon. We
Okay.
generally will give all of our guests, because there's a lot of travel and stuff like that for people, particularly if they're working on a show.
Mhm.
Sometimes their travel's kind of booked at the last minute, depending on calls, what their call sheet says for the next week. Because even though they think they're going to be available, if something has to be reshot or something like that, sometimes that changes. So they wait. And so we are trying to finalize all of that this weekend so I can get everything corrected. So it will be as correct as possible. It does not mean there won't be changes at the convention. There always are.
And there are, and that's why we keep saying to everyone at the convention, check the schedules.
Check the
Even if you
app.
think,
Always
app.
check the app. The app is going to be the most updated version. We do have a quick start guide, which is the grids that you are used to seeing. Well, we've been doing the quick start guide for a couple of years. So, but there is that. And that was accurate on the day that they pulled the grids. But of course,
There we go.
things move. So just make sure that you're downloading the app and checking it for anytime, any kind of update schedule.
Yeah, that's what I'm sorry. I said schedule, but app.
So
But
people
especially
don't
on the
have to
app.
people don't have to take a drink at this point because the app is out.
Yeah, there you go.
Because that is my most common question is
Yes.
when is the
When is
app
it
coming
coming?
out? Yeah.
And we hear that too. And I tell people, stop it. Just like I tell people to
It
stop it who
always
keep
comes out
saying,
about 10 days before the convention. So,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And all those people who are like, so like we can plan everything perfectly. No, something's going to change. Okay. Check the app
Life
every
is
day.
about change and us adapting to it. So
Be the wave, be the
wave,
flow.
ride the wave. Enjoy yourself. Don't get too stressed about a certain particular panel. You can choose multiple things. The app even has a thing where you can say where you are and you can say what's close. Like I'm tired. I just want to sit down and watch panel.
Right.
You can say
I
I'm
just want
here and what's around me. Okay. Oh, this looks interesting. I really do think people should try to do at least one new thing a year. I know everybody has their favorites, but
to.
expand your horizons. You might find a new fandom.
I have found new fandoms. I have found new friends. I have found
You may find a
so
book
many different things.
author that you
Yes.
now it becomes your latest passion.
Mhm.
So, I mean, I encourage everybody to always try at least one thing. One thing.
Try something new. One with them.
That's new. So, yeah,
And
that's a cool thing.
that's good. And we've talked about this a little bit, but there is going to be the digital membership again this year.
Streaming membership,
And
yes.
streaming
And it's only
membership.
$10.
That
And
is
it's only
that is
10.
such a
10
bargain. Every
it's
year,
$10.
every year
Yeah,
I'm a
you're
little
not seeing everything. You know, you're not gonna see what's in the tracks. It's mainly the things in the main rooms that get recorded.
Mhm.
Um, because, you know, that's a lot of cameras. A lot of
A
cameras.
lot of cameras.
It's very expensive cameras too. And,
Right.
there's, like, very close to it's 39 or 40 tracks, and that doesn't include things like gaming,
Mm-mm.
and the vendor halls and all of that kinda stuff, and so, um, it's a lot. It's a lot.
It's a lot.
So,
It's a lot.
but, for $10, it's well worth it.
Well,
I
I get
watch a
one.
lot of the stuff because that's the only way I can see it because I'm busy running the convention. Um,
Exactly. And
so
I get one for my nephew who moved to Washington State years ago. He's always like, "Yay, I get my Dragon Con fix."
right,
Because
or those people that maybe are in the military and they get to watch it because it lasts for 6 or 9 months. I can't remember whether they stop it in like June because they start getting ready for the new content. You know, like they're getting their bumpers together and all that kind of thing. That's those special little things that happen, little comedy skits and different things like that that happen that are shown in the ballrooms between panels to keep everybody interested. Um, that our DCTV team produces. It's really they're
they're
cool.
wonderful.
Those people are very creative, and they take suggestions from people from our members on the outside. Send them suggestions about things, and sometimes they kind of combine a couple of things together. But if they see a lot of people suggesting something on a particular subject, they probably take that into account.
Yeah.
But they're very
So that's
creative
really,
people. They're very creative people.
and again, remember, this is the great thing about Dragon Con. Any panel you see, I don't think there's one for just the bumpers, but for panels, you get to rate and review. And that is very important.
Absolutely, the app. So
That
when yes, so please go to the app and look up the item that you have seen and leave. There are like 5 questions, I believe. Anywhere from, did the panel have technical issues? Did did you like the moderator? Did they ask good questions? Um, um, all of those kind of things. Please don't rate in the app something as a 0 if you couldn't get in.
Please don't.
Sweetie, sometimes the room fills up, and the fire marshals are real particular about that. So, but if you have a room in a host hotel, actually you can watch it on a DCTV channel, or at least some of them you can.
Right.
Occasionally we have contractual issues where certain things can't be broadcast, um, but by and large you have a lot. So
That is very
there's a
true.
lot of things to chase. This is also something to remember
Mm-hmm.
when you need a little break. And maybe you need to go back to your room, have a sandwich,
Mm-hmm.
or get a little shower, or change your costume, because we have lots of people that do lots of
Oh
costume.
yeah.
And they can
Yes.
they're not really leaving the DragonCon experience if they turn it on their TV.
Right.
You should look for those channels within each. I can't tell you a particular channel because every hotel's feed is different. They usually have a channel or two that's open for conventions to use, and of course we use those.
Yeah.
But
And
look up, if you look on the guide and it says something like for conventions. They usually don't put DragonCon TV in. They just say outside vendor or something like that. Usually in a higher number.
right.
um,
And there are a lot of people that go to DragonCon and are at a host hotel, and one of the first things they do, and when I had a hotel, my husband did this, is turn on DragonCon TV, and
absolutely.
it ran 24/7 while we were at con.
Oh, I don't run it 24/7, but I will tell you I get there a couple of days ahead because I'm of course checking setups and different things like that. And I do turn it on just to make sure that it's running.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean that's the first thing I do because a couple of years ago I was like, "Hey guys, I thought y'all told me this was up," and they were like, "It's supposed to be," and they went and checked, and yes. And somebody had in the hotel, a new IT manager had unplugged their box, and we had to
Oh.
have a
No.
conversation. It was fine. It was Tuesday. And so,
It
but
was
they
Tuesday
were
now. You
able
know.
to troubleshoot that and get that taken care of. But
Right.
we were like, "No, well, we installed this a week ago. We said,
We did
please
here.
leave it alone.
Deal.
We're gonna be here in a week." We were testing it. That
Yeah.
doesn't mean you unplug it now.
But see,
So,
here's the
I'll do
thing:
that.
you can't expect IT professionals not to do IT things, which is basically unplug and plug things back in. I mean, that's
as
how we make
someone
all
who
of our
used to
money.
be an IT professional, I will say that that is the first troubleshooting thing you do.
But it's
Mhm.
also how you make
Is
money. You
is
break things.
restart. You make it restart. I worked at a private school for 30 years, and it was
Mhm.
I would get teachers that would say, "Please don't tell me to restart," and I was like, "Well, honey, if I
Right.
come up there to your room, that is the first thing I'm going to do because it's probably a memory issue." And then we'll start
Mhm.
from there. And if it's still an issue after that, then okay, we'll start. The troubleshooting thing with any kind of equipment is
Mhm.
start at the wall and see if it's plugged in.
Right. Exactly.
That's the very first thing you do.
Yeah.
um, I used to have things with monitors, the old big CRTs where the plugs would wiggle out, you know, um,
Mhm.
and I'd say, "Did you push the plug in really hard?" And they're like, "Yes, I did." And like,
Did you
"Did you
really?
though?" And I'd get up there and I'd push it in really hard, and I said, "Well, if there are no lights on it, either it's gone bad or
Mhm.
there's something wrong with the power," you know,
Right.
which it can go bad. That's a possibility.
Well,
They
one of the
don't
things
very often, but
but they do.
it can happen.
Well, that was always one of the things I would do when I would call my IT people is like, I've turned it on and off. twice,
Right.
twice before
Perfect.
I called you,
Yes.
and I still can't get this webpage or whatever up.
Right.
Please
Right.
help me find where my shared drive all of a sudden went away
In a way
to.
to, yeah. I had one teacher
Like,
one time that kept telling me that the share drive that she was supposed to have, um, she's like, "Oh, I can't find it. I can't find it." I went up to her room. You know, there's a little scroll bar on the bottom.
Eh,
She
it was
had
right
not
there.
moved her scroll bar over to see her drive.
Ooh. Yeah,
And
that's
she was
awesome.
like, "Please don't tell anyone." I said, "I
Please.
I won't tell anybody it was you, but I am absolutely
Yeah, I
using this
will
as
tell
an
it. Trust me.
example that you should look at things really closely before you
Yeah.
call somebody because
Yes.
it was I promise you it's there."
Somewhere. Yeah.
So, yeah.
No, so that was good. Now uh, there are a lot of con rules. Let's first of all always remember, folks, be kind.
Nice.
Don't be a jerk.
Yes,
Don't
rule
be
number
and
7 is don't be a jerk. Now, that
right.
for years was all we said. Now that rule number 7 is highly expanded to talk about harassment.
ooh, okay.
Harassment will not be
Yes.
tolerated at all.
Mm-mm.
There is no place for it at our convention. See something, say something. However, I do need to caution that if you are being harassed, you need to go to our safety department and report it.
Please.
Because if you don't report it, we cannot do anything really about it.
Mhm.
Um, we need you to press charges. We have we have a police officer, at lea- usually female in that area. We have police officers that are available for either side in a curtained off area, so you're not like being seen from the door. Um,
Right.
that you're, in there, whatever, and they will take your complaint. We take those seriously. We absolutely want Dragon Con to be the safest space for you to be your
Yes.
true self.
Very true. And the thing there is, folks, that was for very many years. I've now kind of counted how many, and it's been way many. But one of the biggest things was this. Just don't be a jerk.
Right.
That was what we all said. Just don't be a
Don't
jerk.
be a
And
jerk.
now it's like it's
But now we have to be very
you
specific about the fact that
exactly
we will not accept harassment. We will not
right
accept that.
because
Um,
you know.
so yeah. So
Oh, I think
uh
it's also it's the other rule is that cosplay is not consent.
correct.
You need to ask before you take pictures. You need to
Yes.
do all of the right things on that. There are just don't be a jerk, but also just
Yeah, and
think
asking,
about
and I mean, even just as far as taking pictures, people have put a lot of work into those costumes.
yes,
They have been, I promise you, they have been posing in front of mirrors. They know exactly what the right thing is for their character, what they feel is their best pose. Give
right,
them a moment to prepare themselves
mhm,
so that you have an excellent picture.
Hmm.
Okay?
exactly,
Because they didn't spend all that money and all that time to for you to take a bad picture. They're there because they want you to take pictures. Otherwise they wouldn't come on the
exactly,
floor, you know.
right.
That's kind of their payment is the fact that that people are enjoying their cosplay and want to take their pictures. So just like I said, be kind. Kindness is never, ever, ever wasted.
No.
Right.
And do remember that some people might not be kind to you. If
Yeah.
it's really bad, as Regina said, go see safety.
Go
But
see
also,
safety.
please remember, not everybody is where you are today, right? They
That
may
is
be
true.
having a bad day or
Their feet may hurt. They may be dehydrated. Please drink water. There is water
please.
at every hotel.
Mhm.
Atlanta is hot. It's hot.
Yep.
People, hot.
No matter
They
what,
call
it's
it
Particularly,
hot. It's hot.
Hotlanta for
particularly
a reason.
that's for a reason. Yes, right. So,
And
particularly
by
if
the way,
you're
no
going
one
in
there calls
between
it
hotels.
Hotlanta, but
Not anymore. That was a thing for a minute, but the whole country
yeah.
latched onto that. But
Yes.
it is hot. It is humid. It is particularly people who are coming from not from this area, may not be used to that. You're going to be doing a lot of walking,
Yes.
a lot of walking. So, just make sure that every time you come into a hotel, they
Mhm.
keep those water things full as those water stations around. Just drink
Mhm.
a cup, you know, fill up your
They
water
even have
bottle.
little plastic cups
I
right
mean,
there.
bring a
They have
water
little
bottle. Bring a water bottle
Yes.
and fill it up, and just take it with you. Um,
Mhm.
it really will help you. Uh, so I've been doing this now 37 years.
Yes.
37.
37. Wow. Which
37
which
since the first one I attended.
wow. Which brings me to this because we kind of jumped into it and we just assumed everyone listening knows who you are. What is
Oh
it?
yeah.
What is it that you do at DragonCon?
Okay.
Explain
So
yourself.
So
excuse me. I am the senior director of programming. That means everything in every room,
Oh, that's a
except
lot
for
of
like
rooms.
some certain areas like gaming, but not that doesn't. But their programming tracks
Are you?
we did place there, and they do have to work with me to request space and stuff like that. We have, like I said, about 40 tracks. Most of them report to me. There are a few that fall into different areas, like the vendors hall, the art show,
Okay.
the two gaming ones, um, those kind of things. Report to other senior directors, but they still have to deal with me in regards to all their programming. So, kind of a shared thing. Um, I don't do this alone. I have 4 track coordinators who are themselves track directors and have been track directors over 5 years and most over 10, who
Mhm.
oversee 7 or 8 other tracks that are kind of related to them. Um,
Mm.
like Carol Malcolm does the literary tracks, Charles McFall kind of does the reality tracks now. Carol is the director of urban fantasy. Charles is the director over digital media. So science, space, digital media, skeptics, all those things kind of go to him. Brandy Rossi is the director of Star Wars, and she tends to handle a lot of the media tracks. Um, and then Lee Cox, who is our costuming director, kind of a lot of the things that have a high costume usage are kind of under him. So, so yeah, so it may not be exactly that, but like alt history is under here, but they do lots of things with steampunk and all kinds of Victorian costumes and all that kind of stuff. Doesn't mean that's all they do. It just means that that's so they help me. But there's like I said, 40 different areas, content creators who are kind of many experts in their area.
Mhm.
They write a lot of the programming. I still have to look at it. I still have to approve it. I have to, I also sit on the guest committee. So as I see people come through applying, we'll ask them, hey, what do you think of this person's bio? Do you know them? I am very active in the fan community here. So I know a lot of people. I know a lot of
Yes, you
So
do.
it's kind of like,
Especially after 37 years.
right there, and we get thousands of
Mhm.
applications. So there will always be somebody who says, "Oh, I can't get it. How do I get in DragonCon?" Produce more, write more, do more things that actually get published, do more shows, things that people want to see, because obviously we are in the end serving our community and our attendees.
Right.
So we want people that they're going to be um, interested in. So people always say, "Well, how do you do that?" Okay, this is where I'm going to do my fandom part. Go to other smaller conventions.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh yes.
Learn your craft.
Yes.
Channeling is a skill. It really is. It is something where a lot of people are shy. They have to learn how to get over that for that hour
Mhm.
and be able to speak up and assert themselves. That's not it's always as easy for some as others. We have obviously different people have different personalities, and some are boisterous and some are not. But I encourage you to do that. Um, it one supports our community, and
Mhm.
two, like I said, it helps you learn. But
And it
don't think you'll never get in if you apply for the first time. And frankly, you have one book that you published, or you apply and your first book is coming out
6 months.
6 months or more. Like I can't even look at a sample chapter.
All right.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Come back when you have 5 books in print.
By the
Mhm.
way, the same applies for people like even moderators, right? So through the
Yes.
you don't just become a moderator. You have to
Do not.
you have to
You do not.
I mean, early on
And it
in Dragon Con's history, there was a lot of people that served as moderators, but as it's grown, it's become more of a it's shown. Some of them have grown up with Dragon Con, being
correct.
training them. Others have gone to other cons and learned how to be a
Correct.
efficient
I will say
moderator.
that that we yes, and in the tracks we do still have some of that. When you hit the big rooms,
Yeah.
we actually have instituted something where we have our own moderator training. And we invite certain people that we know are good. But they have to go through a review process and go through the training every year.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we do a
That's good.
Discord. Tony Gal has been heading that up for me, but he and I do like a full day. Like
Oh
they're
wow.
on there. We do um, um, little fake little panels like
Mhm.
and see how they do. We put people in different roles and all that kind of stuff. So we feel confident that they can handle anything, pretty much anything that comes along.
Yeah.
So
And
anyway,
also, as we mentioned earlier, the apps. When you, if you're honestly reviewing a moderator, I mean, that's
mhm,
always assume positive intent and always assume when you're giving criticism on the app that it's constructive criticism. This is it's not
yeah,
like, well, they didn't call on me, right?
yeah.
So
Don't just say,
Yeah.
"Well, they sucked."
yeah,
Mhm.
Why?
it doesn't help, right?
What is it about them that you didn't like? If it's just because they didn't call on you, well, honey, how many people are in the audience?
That's exactly.
Okay,
And how many people were already in line behind to be able to ask a
exactly.
question? If you're in one of those big rooms, folks, and there isn't a numbering system, so it's not like I can give out the moderator or anyone else in the room can say, okay, we're only going to take 20
I just
questions. You
saw
didn't
this
get the
question and it
questions
says,
in.
"Does Tony provide the 36 dozen eggs for the training?" He does not. He's busy running the training. The 36 dozen eggs would one. I'm not sure about the smell that would be coming off if we had
It'd be
all those
awful.
eggs in a room. So, and we do it on
Unbelievable.
Discord. And so let that lead into Discord.
Yes,
Discord
please.
was something that really became part of our culture in 2020. We spun up
Hmm.
those servers mainly because we were not going to have a in-person convention because we weren't allowed to. The city of Atlanta at the time was in the middle of COVID, and we were only could have 10 people congregated together. So obviously we could not do a traditional Dragon Con. We still had a Dragon Con, I
Oh yeah.
promise you.
I have the
It was a
shirt to
very
prove it.
hard turnaround to completely switch gears in 6 weeks when we were told by the city that this was not going to happen. But we did. What really came out of that, though, one of the things that we had taken away from a lot of the other bigger conventions who were trying to also do a virtual was they did not have the fan engagement. which is what DragonCon is all about.
All about.
It really is. So we spun up Discord servers, and those servers are still going even stronger today than they were back then. They've just built. But that also leads into the questions in the big rooms. We have in the biggest rooms, like our atrium ballroom in the Marriott, there will be 2 microphone people, 1 on each aisle. And the moderator will also be pulling a question from Discord. So it's every, you go here, you go there, you go to Discord. You go here, you go there to go to Discord. And there will be a lot of questions on there. Yes, if somebody is asking something inappropriate, that question is not going to make it. That's not going to happen.
No.
However, they will look down and say, "Oh, this hasn't been asked."
Right.
Okay. And so that's a different direction for us to go. So let's ask that. So they will ask that question. Also, wonderful, you may see out on the internet now that we've published that our little intro that gets played up there before we start doing questions that tells everybody how to, what they should do. Come in, find your seat, fill in every seat, be nice to everybody. This is how this works. And we will put up a QR code for that room in Discord that you can take a picture of. They'll leave it up, a fair amount of
For a
time.
while.
And, and then you can get into the Discord for that room and participate. We have one of our main moderators who's one of our really great ones. Tony P. Henderson is the one who creates that. He's awesome. And he has he's done a great job again this year. And we have released that so you can see it.
And we have Karen Henson, one of the directors we already talked to.
Yes, correct. That would be an inappropriate question.
Don't ask boxers or briefs.
Don't ask boxers or briefs is what.
Yeah, don't ask boxers or briefs. Just understand that particularly during the day, we are trying to be family friendly. We want people to feel comfortable bringing their families and not having to worry about something that might be inappropriate.
Right.
So after 10 p.m., however, they now have a parenting decision to make. Because as things get later and more adult beverages are consumed, things get a little bit looser.
Different. Yes. To which I still think
if we actually put something in with their ratings, there are little tags on the app that say what the audience is, and you can search for those, particularly if you have children. If it says mature content,
it's mature content.
That's a warning. If it says in the description 18 above, that means we're going to be checking at the door. It says 21 and above, we're going to be checking at the door.
Right.
If it says mature content, but it doesn't say in the description, then usually that means that we're just giving you a warning. And in particular, a lot of times that's about language.
Right.
And
that's very true.
Don't be surprised if you hear one of the old George Carlin 7 words you can't say on television after 10 p.m.
Right.
If you don't know what that is, check out YouTube.
Yeah.
Brandon says 10 p.m. is family time, right?
Yeah.
No.
Family time in your
maybe no, I'm not going to say that.
We're getting all sorts of examples of questions not to ask, like, can I get a hug? I have a 3-part question for each of you.
No.
And that is one of the moderator's jobs, because everybody should be able to ask one question if they get the chance to. But if you ask a question in 27 parts, that's going to take up the whole time, and that's not fair. That's just not fair.
Exactly.
Everybody wants to have their little moment. Who can? And yes, don't ask them for hugs, because
You're not getting it.
It's unlikely for you to get them.
It's
Is one of
awkward
the
for all of
things.
us.
It's awkward, and in these post-COVID times, a lot of people are just, they don't want to get sick.
Right.
And everybody gets run down, and you don't know whether their voice is crackly because they've been talking too much, or that they were
Or-
screaming in the rave last night. They stayed up too late, or whether they're coming down with something. So,
it's just
I still
we're trying
would
to
hand sanitize a lot, and
Mhm.
please take care of yourselves. Please go ahead and get your vitamins in. I went and had my flu shot and my COVID booster last week,
Okay.
so it would be fully in effect before I came to the convention.
Mhm.
Take care of yourself.
Well, and
We
on
don't
that,
we don't want
sorry.
anybody to get sick.
Don't get sick. But on that, there is a kind of rule of thumb that
Mhm.
goes, and it's called the 621 rule. Can
Yes.
you explain that?
Okay. The 621 rule means with conventions, you should try to get 6 hours of sleep. Haha. At DragonCon.
Unless you're Regina, you should try to get 6 hours.
Yes, I can always be woken up, even if I try to be sleeping, because that's my job. So, 2 meals a day. That
Right.
is not just like Cheetos.
No.
Like protein, whatever that is for you, if you're a vegetarian, whatever your thing is. Protein, some kind of, hopefully, vegetables.
Fruit, vegetables.
But a true full meal. Yes, a lot of times people tend to eat just water, right?
Yeah.
Passion will
That's
sustain us.
Sarah. That's Sarah.
Yeah.
Sarah
So
says
here's the problem with that. Yes, you should hydrate. You should absolutely hydrate.
Please hydrate.
But there is a point where your body says, I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
And you do not want that to be while you're waiting in line for the one thing that you really wanted to see. And your person goes, and this was the thing you were so excited about. And then you fall down, go boom. That's not fun.
That's not fun. And
I, many years ago, came in. I had been at the Masquerade. This was so long ago. It was at the Civic Center, which doesn't exist anymore. I walked back into the Hyatt, and I started shaking. And I went, why am I doing that?
Mhm.
When did I eat last? This morning.
Drink a glass of water.
At breakfast at 7 a.m. and it's now midnight.
Mhm.
And all I've been doing is
Yeah.
drinking Coca-Cola all day long.
And while we all love Coke, and Atlanta is a Coca-Cola city,
I'm just
you
saying,
can't live on it.
all I've been having is sugar all day long and just run. And then eventually your body says, I need more than that. So, that take snacks with you, please. Some people don't eat breakfast, or whatever at the beginning, or they have different routines, but just make sure that you're getting a healthy amount of food, because that's the fuel, because you're, like I said, walking a lot and probably a lot more than you're used to.
Right.
Just, take care of your body.
Okay. And then what's the 1 in that rule? So we got the 6 and the 2.
Hygiene, a shower or bath. No, the swimming pools do not count.
yeah, and also Brandon, who said 6 minutes of sleep, 2 bags of M&Ms, and 1 Axe body spray.
Axe body spray. No, thank you. Please,
spray does not count. No.
Please do not over perfume, or because that affects other people. So, be considerate of others around you as you would like them to be considerate of you.
Exactly.
So, yeah. So, I will say that I have stretched that rule on a couple of times, particularly on the sleep and shower thing, because the shower can actually make you feel a lot better. Sometimes, but that only lasts for so long.
There's only
yeah, after 3 or 4 days, then yeah, you really need to have your rest. So,
you do.
and as I said,
And-
I'm one of those people that can be woken up. And I have literally had somebody, I went to go, I sat down on my bed, took my shoes off, and my phone rang. And I put my shoes right back on and went back out to handle an issue. It
Yeah.
happens.
It happens.
But I
And-
will promise you the 2 weeks after Dragon Con, I will be doing lots of sleeping.
Mhm.
Lots and lots of sleeping.
Karen
Lots
says
and
that
lots of sleeping.
they've set their alarm to remind themselves to eat the snacks in front of them.
And that is a great idea. That is actually a really good idea. Also, if you have friends, I
We
have
all have
people in my
friends.
office that do this. But besides the 75,000 other friends that are going to Dragon Con, but specifically people who may be hanging out with you, and they come and ask that question of your friends. Have you eaten?
Yeah.
Have you had something to eat? Or you give them money and they bring you something if they're going to the food
Yes.
court. Just
And-
do it.
Right. Yeah. And for those who are traveling here, and especially if you're on a plane and you don't want to bring snacks or don't want to bring whatever else, again, there is a CVS in Peachtree Center, which is basically the food court.
Right.
There is Publix, not that far.
Publix about 3-4 blocks away.
Yep.
You can take a quick Uber, go over, do some shopping, get some. I do recommend that you try to keep either some stuff on you or stuff in your room that will
Mhm.
be quick snacks. But yes, but do make sure that you eat.
And I'm one of those people that if I don't, sometimes my body will just go haywire.
Mhm.
And for some unknown reason, I'm all of a sudden shaking and things like that. I always have at least like a protein bar on me.
Right.
And, and even if your protein bar might be a Snickers, okay, that's got
The
peanuts
peanuts in it. It's got peanuts in
It's
it.
got
That's
peanuts
why
in
they
it.
say Snickers is satisfying. Got both
Snickers
sugar
is
and
satisfying.
peanuts.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean that's pushing it, but
Yeah.
yes. In a
It
pinch,
happens. Yes.
if it will get you to where you need to be to get real food
Mm-hmm.
temporarily, because sugar does wear off pretty quickly.
Yeah,
Okay.
it does.
So it will get you up. It will get if your blood sugar's crashing, then it will get you up. But you need to enforce that with something that is a little bit more, substantial.
And sorry.
Yeah,
I
go
was
ahead.
just going to say, Todd brought this up too, that there is a badge now or a sticker that you can get in disability services that you can put on the back of your badge if you
Mhm.
have a health issue like diabetic or
Yes.
I can't even imagine all of the ones I could put back there, but it's really good to have that. You got an emergency. I think it also,
It's just
what?
the consuete thing. Okay, so John can never find us, even though we've told him exactly where it is multiple times. But
Taking them.
yes, if you can find it, the consuete, which is a hospitality area that we have for our people attending, is on the second floor of the Hyatt, and they have snacks. That's what they're there for. Occasionally they will close to clean, but those times are they try to get they kind of have it down to a science. So maybe
Consuete
up to
is
30 minutes, but they're doling out some stuff. So
And they're
the consuete is my brigadoon, so it only
it's
appears
actually your
once every 5 cons.
yeah, right. That'll work for you, John.
Yeah.
And I think
this
that's
is-
important too, folks, is that the consuite is great. They've got drinks there for you. They have comfy chairs if you need to sit for a few minutes.
Absolutely.
It's wonderful. It is not a meal.
It's
And-
it's meant to kind of give you that snack. Just a little something. But yeah.
I always loved going for a peanut butter sandwich, peanut butter and jelly sandwich. They would have those sometimes, and that was one of my favorite things because that's one of my favorite snacks.
And
So those are the things.
frankly, for those that have a hotel room,
Mhm.
buy a loaf of bread and some peanut butter, and you can package that. That does not immediately go bad. It's shelf stable. So you can put that in your backpack and you can eat that later in the day. For
Yogurt
those who
doesn't,
have
though, just for the record.
yogurt does not.
Yogurt,
does
you don't want
not.
to leave in your bag all day.
You do not.
No.
You would not want to eat that at the end of the day because,
And-
you know.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
if you're somebody who likes
even though
milk,
it is
stable milk.
well, even though it is, yeah, still sour milk to begin with. It's just more sour now. Some
It's
people,
just, it's not the good
Yeah.
part.
Sarah had a good idea, or at least shared her idea. Yeah, I normally have a Jimmy John's sandwich pack in my room, and I bring a lunchbox and carry one with me. Make sure I at least have one real meal
There you
with
go.
me.
Yeah.
You could brave the sticky stairs, get to that kind of sweet, and also a good reminder: Volunteer Village for those that are volunteers.
I was going to
that are
say that.
listening.
Yeah. Yeah. So that is a great resource for people who are volunteering, which is like the volunteers have their own little consuite, and they have in the Volunteer Village. The main one is in the Marriott on the 10th floor. They have half of the 10th floor kind of with pipe and drape up, and they do check that you are a volunteer, and they have all kinds of snacks and stuff up there. But they have a satellite one over at the Westin in the Savannah room, which is up by the pool. If you're anybody who's looking for it, because you can't get it's on the quote 10th floor, but it's like a separate little thing. So you get off on 9 and you go to these escalators and go up.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for it and you're not sure, just ask where the fitness center or the pool is, because it's literally right there in the pool. Its entrance is right here. So when you get to the top of the escalators, that's the easiest thing to ask. But they also have snacks and stuff. So yeah, so we're trying to make sure we take care of our volunteers as well. So because we couldn't run this show without them.
Someone said Weston 9 3/4.
Yes, yes. And that's funny because Karen is actually over in the Westin. Her track, which is the military SF track, is in the Westin. So yeah, it's 9 3/4. I had to remember that. That's kind of cute.
That's actually pretty good.
A couple
I
more
like that,
things.
Terry.
A couple more things from chat. Forget not thy sunscreen for those lines outside.
Yes. We do have to run lines outside. It can be warm. And you should make sure that your water bottle is full and that your sunscreen is applied before you're going to wait for the most popular panels. There will be times when we have someone at the end of the line that's going to say, I'm sorry, nobody's going to get in past there. It's going to be, you can stand in line behind this, but we think this is going to be the capacity and you might not get in. So you might want to look at going to see something else or going back to your room and watching it on DCTV.
And I think maybe in the Hyatt, their lobby level bar has DCTV playing too, so you can maybe go there.
Several
and
of them
watch
do that. So several of the hotels do
Yeah.
that. They'll put it in a common area. They'll have different TVs out where that people can see things. I can't attest to what locations they'll be in this year, but that has very often happened. So
Yeah. And ask the hotel. They're very nice. If you say, hey, is there a place where y'all got it running? Go.
they'll tell you. Yeah.
They'll tell you.
Our hotel partners are awesome. It's always
Yes.
interesting to watch the people that are new and have never been through a Dragon Con before, because often they're afraid because they've heard all these, they just think this huge convention. Oh my gosh, our people are going to be nice, etc. Our people are the nicest people. They really are. But they get a little overwhelmed as well by the crowds because it's rare for any hotel to be at capacity all hours of the day. It slows down 2 or 3 hours in the middle of the night at most of them. Not in the Marriott. Not at the Marriott, because the Marriott has the rave, which goes from 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. So there are still people up at that time. So
where is the rave at? Is it in the
in the Atrium Ballroom.
Atrium Ball.
Atrium Ballroom.
I've never
That's the
been there
Marriott, the one in the
because,
middle.
frankly, at 3:00 in the morning at for the last several decades, I've been asleep at that time. But I've
As
always wondered where it
a
was.
lot of people should aspire to be, but people who love dancing and love the raves, that's their time. And some of them sleep partial during the day. That's what they do. They're the vampires of us all. So
Yes, yes, there are.
and,
There
and
are many vampires, and
yeah,
that's a really
and
good
they
thing for
enjoy
con
that.
because there's stuff going on all the time. There
Right.
really is.
Right.
Just kind of look around.
Right.
I think one of the other things, though, is just to also remember, let people know where you're going to be in your group, because then if you don't show up at a certain time,
They'll come check on you.
they want to know who you are.
Or
Because
they'll text you and say, "Hey, man, did you decide not to come?" That's a good thing. It's just
yes,
just making sure that you're taking care of each other. It's important.
right.
Where you find the music
So,
in your heart. Yes, that's cute. Yeah, that's true.
right.
But yeah,
We will sleep when it's Tuesday.
when it's Tuesday, that is correct. Yeah,
Oh,
that is also when the schedule will be final.
okay, Tuesday,
Which
right
is
there.
Tuesday
It's
Tuesday
like
after
10
Dragon
a.m.
Con.
Yes,
After
because
Man.
there have been panels that were supposed to be about one subject that when the panelists got there, they decided that they didn't want to talk about that. They want to talk about something else. And so that's what happened. And you found out later that that's what happened. The most prominent story I remember from long, long ago, because he's been passed many years, is Jonathan Harris from Lost in Space was there. And apparently the two people that were supposed to be on the panel with him had left. They had flown out. So he showed up and he was there and he said, "Well, we're going to make this panel about one of my favorite subjects, me." And he proceeded to make a vanity panel. That's just what happened, Everybody in the room was happy that people didn't leave, so it was fine. But it can happen, particularly some people might have started a discussion at a different convention, and then they thought they enjoyed that subject so much that they decided to continue it.
There
So
are other conventions?
yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
You say that's
Yeah. They're not.
I mean,
They're not Dragon Con, but yeah, they exist.
and there are also small
We're the
conventions too.
best
folks.
convention. We're the
Well,
best
right, because Dragon Con is by the fans for the
for the
fans.
fans. It always has been. Yes.
And it is the family reunion you like going to, even though there might be one or two crazy uncles that you don't want to talk to anymore. But this is the family reunion you
Dragon
want.
Con
And
is family.
so
It
much
absolutely is. And as in any family, there can be a butthead.
Brandon
There's
says,
occasionally someone who is,
Right.
not
I'm
as
using,
kind as we would like them to be.
I'm using the good place now, the ash holes. I think there are always going to be that kind of weird that they're going to be there, but let's be kind,
Right.
and just kind of
yeah.
roll with the flow.
Right. Go with the flow as much as possible, unless they're exceeding the line and harassing, and then we know what to do about that. We go and talk to safety. So, by
And
and
we wanna-
large, fans tend to police themselves in some ways, and that we don't tolerate that. We're like, dude,
That's just not
really?
no. Right.
Come on,
Sarah is starting trouble in the chat again.
Yeah,
So we need to get a
be
talent
nice.
to turn a panel into a theater.
No,
Stop, Sarah.
Sarah,
We love you.
stop.
Be good.
Um,
Be good. She's already told you has too many panels, so be good.
I do have a
Did she
couple.
talk about that? I actually came in at the very end when
Yeah.
we were waiting, and I saw it was them, and I was like, "Oh, okay." I didn't realize they were doing it tonight.
Yeah.
I figured, yeah.
That's why
Yes,
we
I
ran a
did
little
tell
bit.
her that. I did absolutely tell her that.
And she's done better. There are a few more.
We had to get on a call.
Yes.
And we reduced a few of them off because it was kind of like,
there you go.
girl, How you gonna get between those hotels in
Got my-
30 minutes? How you gonna do
I
that?
got my towel to clean up all this tea that's being spilled. Hold on one second.
Yeah. How you
That's
gonna do
right.
that? How you gonna do that?
Love
'Cause
you.
I can see that for guests and pros, and I can make sure that people are not paneled 4 in a row through a mealtime.
Right.
And I do that too. I call them up and say, "Girl, I know you want to do all the things." This is an actual email that I sent you a couple years ago. "Girl, I know you want to do all the things. I know, but she gonna die. You're trying to go from the Hilton to the Westin and back to the Hilton.
No,
No.
you don't want to go up that big hill,
even if
and
it
you
is in the
can't
low
get to the
80s.
habit trail.
We're gonna take you
You
off
gotta-
that one in the Westin, and you gonna stay there at the Hilton and get a sandwich."
Listen, I do remember early on in my Dragon Con with Extract that Kevin J. Anderson, this was when they had a couple of Extract books out, and Kevin J. Anderson, the author, will schedule himself all day long. And at one point, we were talking to him, and he's like, "Yeah, no, I mean, I just gone back to back to back. I haven't eaten anything today." And I remember leaning in and going, "Can I go get you something? Because you need to eat." It was the mom in me coming out, but it
The
was there.
first year he came, I had been on
Mhm.
staff for a few years, and I was basically over the tracks. I was coordinating the tracks. That was when it was still under guest services, and I was in guest services. I was actually running guest hospitality at that time,
Okay.
but I was the second for guest services, so
Mhm.
I would get all the stuff from the tracks. And Kevin came the first year and had that situation where he was doing deep, 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 right. And I'm like, and I called him and I was like, "No, sir.
Yeah.
No, sir." And I was like, when are you planning on eating during this time?" And he was like, "You run guest hospitality. Could you bring me a sandwich?" And I was like, "For real, dude?"
It would be difficult
Yeah, because he was
because
doing a
and
signing and he figured
everybody
he could take a bite in between people.
Mhm.
Um, and I did do that then, but now I do understand that, that was 30 years ago,
That's
at least,
wow.
and it was
Yeah.
like, we're all getting older. And we don't move quite as fast, although Kevin hikes, like, all the time because
Or
that's his process is he takes a, recorder with him
Mhm.
and, records when he's doing books ideas, and then he has
Oh, yeah.
somebody transcribe it, and then he edits it. That's just his
Yeah,
thing. So he is actually very fit,
Mhm.
but it's still
You still
not a good thing for you to be running that
Mm-mm.
hard because 'cause you're not even get to visit with people, you know? I've had somebody
No,
else tell
right.
me that this was the con you come to see people that you're not gonna see because you see them in drive-bys. You're like, "Hey, I'm on my way to something."
Right.
You know, so
And it's really good because it's just
but
I
have a
always say it
conversation.
even
Have leave yourself enough time to
yes,
actually visit for a minute, because there are
yes.
lots of people I only see once a year here.
There are people like that, and especially for fans that are in the panels in the track rooms, they love it when they're seeing each other, and that's their catch up time when you're going from panel one to panel two. There's that 30 minutes between,
This is
and
when
that's
they
what
get
they
to go
do.
to
Yeah,
the restroom,
gotta go.
fill their own water bottle,
Mm-hmm.
those things.
Uh-huh.
So
And the good thing about all the hotels, they have
Mhm.
really nice restrooms, folks. They really do. So
They
I've
have
seen
people
plenty of people
there
that
staffing them usually, coming in,
all the
cleaning
time.
often, all those kind of things.
Right.
So,
And so there's that. But let's also talk about Regina, the charity. A
yes,
lot of our groups have been talking about what they're doing for charity.
yes.
And so what can you talk about? Just let us
So
know about it.
NAMBY,
More.
NAMBY is our charity, NAMBY of Georgia. That's the National Alliance for Mental Health, mental illness, actually, but still, it is a grassroots kind of organization that all of the people volunteer for that as well. And um, we our community is very accepting of people with who are differently abled. and also very accepting of people who may be struggling. I get a little bit clamped here because it's
I'm
important.
yeah.
So DragonCon always chooses a charity that is meaningful to us.
Mhm.
Generally, it is about other people that have had struggles. Like when we did the American Heart Association some years ago, it was because we had lost 2 directors that year to heart attacks.
Yeah.
When we did lupus, we had several people on our team that have lupus.
hmm
More common than you think. It's something that is not immediately evident. It's one of those invisible things,
Mhm.
but it can really make it hard, for you to stand for long periods, and you just don't know how it's going to present itself. Those kind of things. Mental illness is the same way. People, particularly when you get into a situation like DragonCon where things are going and going and going, sometimes people forget to take their meds. People, take your meds.
Take your meds.
Take your meds and only your meds.
Only your meds. That was always a rule. That is a rule.
That is a rule. Yeah, that is a
Take your
rule,
meds.
particularly
You
for
don't take
our
meds.
It's actually a
volunteers.
law, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it actually is a law. It's actually a federal offense to take out other people's prescribed medications. However, we all live in a world where we know it happens occasionally. But set those alarms. Just like you're setting your alarms for food, set your alarms to make sure you're taking your meds on time. Okay? I am diabetic.
There you go. You
Why
got to
it's
do
important for me, I mean, I have a little sensor now, luckily. I used to have to test
it.
Yeah, I used to have to test with finger pricks. You
Oh,
get
ouch.
going, you're moving and you're moving and you're moving and you're moving and you're suddenly like, "Why do I feel wonky?
Mhm.
Oh crap, let me take my sugar."
Right.
And it's uh usually that is food or your medication because maybe your sugar's gone way high. Um So I'm just saying, just always, look
Careful.
out. But people who struggle with mental illness, that can also apply to them. Like I said, medication, you get off of your schedule, then you're trying to play catch up, all those kind of things. Again, this
Yeah.
goes back to kindness. If somebody is having a hard time, be kind to them. Be kind.
Mhm.
Um, there are EMTs on site that we contract with the city. If somebody really gets in a bad situation,
Mhm.
again, those go through safety. So, um, just make use of those resources, but try not to let yourself get to the point where you need them. Okay,
Right.
but
But the
Yeah,
other thing I wanted to say about
but
your
because
meds.
we're very accepting, we tend
Yes.
to attract everyone who's an other.
Yep.
Okay, and once upon a time, science fiction fans were the other.
hmm
There weren't a lot of shows and everything out there where people, we've now taken over the mainstream, honey, but
hmm
that was not always the case, and it wasn't even that many years ago that was not the case.
Yeah.
There has been a lot of things that have changed in my lifetime, for sure.
Mhm.
But that being a little bit more accepting, of like getting a good diagnosis, those kind of things. Um,
All important.
It's all important. So we always do, like I said, we always do something for that it's important to our community. And
hmm
we always do it with the chapter of that's Georgia because
Right.
um, this is our home.
Yeah. It is, and it's
And
good
we
to
take
give
care of
back
each
to your
other.
community.
So
Yeah. And I always love it because, again, and Regina, we've talked about this on the podcast before, but you're going to hear it again, folks. Dragon Con matches dollar for dollar up to 150K.
okay,
So
so
you're the
that's new this year because in
first.
that it was 125K last year.
Oh, okay. So
And
now it's
so every time we've reached that maximum, sometimes it takes us a
mhm.
couple of years. We actually it only took 1 year. last year.
Oh
It had,
wow.
it had been at 100K. We raised it to 125. We thought it would take a year or two for a couple of years for it to happen to match. We did not. Our, we matched it, and we actually gave $300,000 to the Arthritis Foundation.
That's absolutely
People
wonderful.
make us pay.
Mhm.
That is the check that Mandy loves to write more than any other one.
What I love to say
So
is,
it's
let's stick
150.
it,
So stick it to the man. Yeah, that's
stick it
right.
to the man. And
Stick it to
even
the
when you
man.
like this man,
Right.
really stick it to him, because
Right.
these charities are shoestring. I cannot tell you.
So them are, and particularly this one, Namby is really community driven and has a lot of just people that are coming and volunteering out of the community who maybe train even there, or they're in their training for being a mental health professional, and they're and and they get real world experience that way. It's but we have volunteers that volunteer with Namby. That's kind of one of how we kind of learned about it. So but that is the check. So we raised it again. We raised it again to
Right.
150,000. Now I will tell you, we gave $300,000 to, which meant that they decided to. Mr. Henry calls it fuzzy math.
Okay.
He decided that we were going to push that a little bit higher than what So, but yeah. So every dollar that's given is two, really,
And
sometimes
it's again,
maybe a little bit more.
maybe
Occasionally,
a bit more.
a little bit more. And try to get that to a little hump. Yeah.
John, do you want to read Brandon's comment as we're talking about the charity?
I moved it off
He's got to
my.
find it.
I moved it off my. I moved it off my thing. Hold on 1 second.
Yeah.
Again, remember, folks, the charity is going to be having silent auctions. They're going to be having loud auctions. They're going to be
The main charity
selling-
auction is Sunday. Is always Sunday.
It's
Because we're
wonderful.
collecting stuff. If you have items to donate, there is a charity booth in the Marriott. It is in the registration booth of the Marquee Ballroom, which is where the Walk of Fame is. The store is on the other side towards the Imperial Ballroom. So if you see the stairs, they come down. The charity booth is on one side, and the DragCon store is on the other. So if you see the store, turn around. There's the charity booth. They can also take credit card donations at the charity booth. So if you just want to give $10, $5, whatever, remember, everything you give gets matched up to $150,000. We will obviously, if we exceed, like last year, I think the community raised like 160 something, 66 sounds right. And then we put our 125 in, and they actually, like I said, some of the board must have decided to pitch in a little bit more, so to round it up. But still, that was awesome. We'd love to give them even more.
Make them pay, stick it to the man. And I do want to give you this little bit, though. Do remember, folks, if you're flying, if you've got any loose change, although we don't often have that anymore, throw that in the bucket before you leave.
Yes.
Because you don't want to take it out of your pockets.
Most tracks will have a paint bucket, charity bucket, that has charity language that tells you about the charity on it.
Right.
And just, you don't want to carry that on a plane. Just put it in there.
It's heavy. You don't want to carry it.
It is heavy.
So,
yeah. We are fine to roll it up and take it to the bank. It will also be matched.
It spends. It spends.
It's a part of the match.
So yeah, going back to what Brandon said, I completely agree, Regina. I love how nerd fandom has grown and become more accepted. Discovering DragonCon was the first time I found my real nerd family and acceptance for being a nerd by others.
Yep.
I will also
find your tribe, you find your family, because you find those people that like the same things you do, and maybe nobody else in your blood family understands that.
Yeah,
I really go by the family. Family is the people you choose, the people that back you up and accept you.
and he also
Sometimes that's not always the people you're related to by blood.
and he also points out that he'll be doing sharing the charity QR code with my
Awesome.
Cards Against Humanity cosplay and swag again this year. That people scan
Mhm.
the QR code in my costume. Yeah, so there's another idea if you happen to can work that into your
I,
costume.
thank you.
That's
Appreciate
amazing.
that.
Thank you, Brandon.
We
That's
love
so,
that.
so cool.
And
That's
Oh, I
right.
like
Karen
I
says
love that, Karen. Go ahead, say
Karen
it.
says lighten your pockets and lighten someone else's mental load. And and I
Yeah.
it's
and I will say this too, and as someone who has recently um had a well, I'll just call it a mental break. And then I had to take a mental break. Um yes, it goes for so look, I'm over 50 years old and it took me, I mean, as many in our community have, I've struggled with depression and but it took it because I was so busy with life and everything else. It took a long time before I finally melted down. And if I'm in a fortunate position where I was able to take care of that with the care of my former employer and my health, but there are so many people out there that do not have the same
right.
Right. They
privileges
don't
that
have
I
that same
do.
support system.
Right,
And
And
exactly.
again, this goes back to I keep coming back to kindness, but it's true. Um,
yeah.
I try to live my life that way. I don't always succeed, like everybody, but I try really hard to be kind. And I'm
Yeah.
sorry I'm so weepy about this, but
No, that's
this is
okay.
No, it's
there
fine.
are
No,
times
it's fine.
you don't realize who else is watching you,
Yeah, it's
and
funny
that
because I
your
mean,
kindness to even someone else can make them not make a decision that can't be reversed.
And it's very
Because I've
important.
had people tell me this years later.
Hmm?
Do you remember when you said this to that person who was melting down? And I was also struggling and I was done. And because you were kind and I saw there were people in the world that could be kind, I chose not to do anything about it that day. And that's all I needed was to get through that day.
Right.
Because sometimes that's all it is one day. And sometimes people are dealing with it one day at a time. So, um, you
Very
know,
much so.
and everybody has those hard places in their life. Everyone. And anybody who says they have it is lying,
Right.
either to you or themselves,
and
Yes.
both
And I've
really.
been very
or both, really.
easily done.
Just like what you're
Right.
saying, John, you're just moving because you think you just can't stop until suddenly
Stops.
you
You made
stop.
to.
Everything
You stop.
eventually catches up with you.
That's
Well,
right. Yeah.
and as John said it, that happened to me in 2018.
Right.
Actually, almost right after DragonCon. My body just all of a sudden went,
Yeah,
you
we're
know, you've
done.
had these little
Yeah.
problems, but
Yeah.
we're done. And by the way, we're not just done with your body because this is going to be a whole lifestyle change. Guess what?
Yeah.
You're going to have some other issues that you need to talk out and think
Yeah.
about and work through.
Okay.
So just remember that, folks. And I also wanted to say one thing before I forgot. If you are coming to DragonCon and you do need meds, I would, especially if you are flying or bus or whatever, some kind of mass transportation, bring a day or two extra
Oh, yeah.
because, especially on a plane, um, you need it just in case. It's just in case, right? And it's important to do it,
Yeah.
you know. And so be careful with that.
I do
So,
want to bring up though, this is something that might help people. We are going to
mhm.
have it's a different group this year. I think it's Revitalize that do the the IV things.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
okay.
Yeah.
That is going to be back. It's a different group, but they're still it's still owned by two ER doctors, and all of
Hmm.
the people that are there um are emergency nurses and PAs and that kind of thing, and EMTs. So they're going to be there doing the vitamins and the B12 and all the stuff and the IV infusion. But they have also
Mhm.
can take calls in your room. And
Oh,
there
that's
are
nice.
some times when that might be necessary, and they would come and they would bring an IV, and then they would say, yeah, so I think you probably need more help.
Yeah.
And then, so you might want to keep that in mind, pick up their flyer. Um,
Mhm.
I got my vitamin shot last year.
And
On the
not
first
only
day
you got vitamin shot.
with the B12, and it actually did that really did help. It helps you
Yeah.
also keep you down from maybe con crud, those kind of things. I've heard other people that, you know, got dehydrated,
And went there.
went there, got that, felt so much better. Felt like, oh my God, what is happening to me? I feel like
I
crap.
heard from a couple of I heard from a couple of people who really enjoyed Saturday night for themselves. That Sunday, when they woke up, they decided that it might be a good idea to hydrate a little bit more, and they went and got the IV. And boy, oh boy, did they feel so much better than they had when they first woke up. That's called a hangover, folks. Just FYI.
Thank you,
But
Brandon, for that kind comment.
Yeah,
what did Brandon say?
Brandon says I still remember Regina's kind words during the 50 Days podcast in the COVID year and how it provides comfort in isolation and to remember how important the con is for all of us fans and virtual and in person. So, yes.
Yeah.
That's where it
Isolation
really
is a
came home
killer.
to me
Yeah.
about the Dragon Con family.
Hmm.
And I've told this story before, but I'll tell it. Tell it when
Totally good.
2020 happened, and we had to make that decision. We of course notified all our guests and pros like 2 hours before. We were going to make the public announcement so that everybody would be prepared, so they wouldn't be like, "What?" Um, and then I actually waited because we knew we were going to pivot to virtual. I waited literally until midnight. I did this on purpose. I didn't want to just flood people with things, and I wanted people to be able to think about it. And I sent all of the guests and pros a sign up, for lack of a better term, um, that if they wanted to help,
Yeah.
let us know. 3 minutes.
Oh,
3 minutes before I got the first sign up. By the next morning, it was 300. And that's when it really came through to me about
That
how important Dragon Con is. And we had people that showed up with skill sets we had no clue. They're like, I used to run a YouTube channel. I can edit video.
Yeah.
It was awesome. And
and
that's what I get so because it's like it meant so much to everybody else. I know what it meant to me, but hearing that from others was just fantastic, you know?
and it's yeah, and it's
And,
isolation stuff, and
you know?
it's
And
folks.
I mean we have over 2,500 volunteers. That's more than
Mhm.
most conventions
Mhm.
have. The vast, the big shows are few and far between.
Mhm.
It's all those little homegrown shows, your local show, which I highly
Mhm.
encourage you to be a part of,
Yep.
but in support. But that for people for it to mean that much, and when people came back in 2021, you could see it in their faces.
Mhm.
They were happy to be home.
Well, and we were so happy to be able to see.
Home.
I just remember that for me, when I got there in 2021, it was finally seeing all those faces I had missed.
Yes,
And
exactly.
I didn't even really
You didn't realize how much
realize
you missed
how
them until
much
you saw them. That's
exactly
right.
until
That's
I
right.
saw them. And you're
And
even
even with masks and us being 6 feet apart a lot of times and that kind of stuff, and having to
it was
basically
still
bathe in
just,
hand sanitizer, because frankly, you know, um,
I'd rather do
it
that.
means a
Yeah.
lot when you get to actually see them. And obviously, we all Zoom did not even exist
Right.
before that happened. Um, but it's not quite the same It's just not
No, it isn't.
quite
It's
not quite the same. It's
yeah.
great that
I
we
mean,
got to keep up with each other and stuff, but you know, it's
that's the
becoming
year that there were. Yeah, that's the year. 2021 was when there were a lot of fist bumps and elbow bumps
elbow
and things
bumps
like that
and
because
live long and
people,
prospers
yeah,
and
and people just
all
didn't
of
want
those
to.
things.
You had to
Um,
be careful about social distancing, and
yeah,
so. But now, go get your shots. Stock up on your vitamin E if that's what you want to do.
yeah,
But try to take care of yourself as much as you can this week
exactly. And sleep
because
as
you
much
know
as you can this week
yeah,
because eventually your
yes,
body will tell you you need sleep.
right,
So
exactly.
yeah. But yeah, so
It's
just be
always good.
kind to each other, take care of each other, take care of yourself.
I will say
And oh,
Karen did say in the chat, Regina and Dragon Con family were there for me in 2020 in ways I can. And also
Uh,
Brandon says it wasn't crying
it's very
in my
sweet.
car on the way to work listening to it. Nope, was definitely not doing it. And
no, no.
I could actually walk without rubbing elbows with everyone else though. Well,
Oh, now that
fair,
was another
fair,
thing.
fair. That's a
We
About
whole
did
different
2020.
realize
topic.
we did absolutely realize that 2019 was just a little too crowded even for us. And when we came back in 21, we were like, "Oh my lord,
It, it, it,
I can actually
it
get you a
reminded
different.
me.
I can actually tell you I'm going to be at a different hotel in 5 minutes, and that can actually possibly happen." So that's why we kind of grew it back slowly. We just
Hmm.
let it go. But we do have a cap number for this year again.
Hmm.
Um, and my understanding is we're fast approaching that. So, um, so yeah. So
And
if you
we've
haven't
already
bought
talked.
your membership, you should do that. And
Yes.
we do not have, just so you know,
Hmm.
it's badge pickup. It is not registration because you register
Right.
online.
Hmm.
Even if that registering online is happening in the lobby of badge pickup.
Right.
But yeah, so don't come in with your cash. We want you to pay for it online. It's
Right.
way faster that way because literally you show your QR code and that goes boop, and it prints off the label and they slap it on and you're on your way.
Right.
So that's one of the things that innovations that we've done in order to move that line through. So yeah,
As some people have talked about before, now the biggest worry you have going through registration isn't how long you'll be there, but not trying to run when you get there because you
yeah,
actually could run. Don't run. You're not supposed to.
no.
But they were like, I had to keep myself walking
Yeah, we
because
don't want
really I wanted
anybody
to
to
like,
trip and
go.
fall. We don't want
Yeah, no,
anybody.
not
We don't want
tripping and
anybody to
falling.
hurt themselves.
No,
The fun will still be there.
right.
So
And as we talk about charity, there's another form of charity that goes on. This is the Robert L. Heinlein
blood drive.
blood
Yes,
drive.
yes.
It
So
is
a lot of people that
amazing
don't
and important.
realize Robert, maybe Robert Heinlein was a very prominent author. His his books are still in print. They are, they're kind of classic science fiction. But yes, he was the first one to suggest a blood drive be associated with science fiction convention. Um, our goal every year, of course, I think it's every pint of blood given actually helps two people,
Hmm.
and that's not even those that just do plasma or different things like that. Uh, I really like it when we beat that other convention that's on the other coast, and we
And
do it
Regina,
every year.
every year,
'Cause we have the
every
best fans.
year,
We do.
I
because our our fans want to give back. They're not
Yeah.
there for the media part. They might be very happy about the
However,
media
you
part,
do get a free
but they're there.
T-shirt if you
There is a free
donate.
T-shirt, and it's
And
Dragon
it's
Connie. It's very
cool.
cool.
Yeah.
It's
So,
very cool.
very cool. So
And
I'm
they have
ashamed
Nutter Butters.
sorry?
I'm ashamed to say that today, as I had last night scheduled uh, a blood donation, and I sat down at my work uh, and realized, wait a minute, I could be doing this at DragonCon. no, but I'm already
Yes.
I'm already
Yes.
sitting here, literally,
Yeah. Okay.
literally
Well, you
today.
gave blood. That's okay. That's okay. But
Right.
still, yes, we do like to beat them. That
Oh,
is,
and we have
and
every year.
we do. I'm pretty much every year.
I
But
just threw away
It's
the
wonderful.
bandage, but you can see if you look really close. Oh,
you can see the
somewhere-
little.
I know he does this because of when they schedule things for his work. He did this. He's
yeah,
done
that
this
happened
every
last
time
time
he's
too.
come.
Yeah, that happened a few years ago too. That I done that and it was like, oh wait a minute.
They are
He just-
located in the bottom of the Hyatt. If you go all the way to the motor
Mhm.
lobby, they are down there. They have multiple rooms down there that where they can process you and get you in and out. And they give you snacks. They give you cookies and orange juice and stuff like that. But yeah, so it's a great thing. Go ahead
And
if you can, great. The shocking betrayal.
Yeah,
Oh,
of me not thing.
him
oh,
not. Oh yeah.
of you not giving at
At the right
DragonCon.
time,
That's
yeah.
okay. That's the
I mean,
right
I
time.
could have just waited a week. I literally could have just waited 1 week, and I could have.
It happens. It happens.
Whatever.
It's important you give wherever you can
Same
because it
company
does
too.
help
It's
so
One
many.
Blood. It's blood down here too.
It's
Yeah. Ours
so
is
it's all
lifestyle.
good.
Ours is
Uh,
lifestyle.
Lifestyle.
Yeah.
I think they're part of the same
They're
group,
same- they're
John.
Might be
they're-
part of the same network.
they are.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Because I
Well,
got
something like that.
because they gave me a little sticker with the Georgia logo on it.
oh, okay.
They had like
Okay.
Georgia, Alabama, Florida.
Uh-huh.
And
stickers for
as somebody who actually had surgery and had to have a blood transfusion, I would have died.
Right.
I probably would have gone back into surgery and very likely died on the table if there had been problems.
I don't
Someone
think
just
she
said
wasn't,
it's
she wasn't
important to
laughing
give
at you
blood
dying on the table.
I don't think it was laughing at me.
No,
No,
somebody
okay.
tried to cut saying it's important to feed the vampires so they don't feed on other people.
Yeah, that is very good.
So,
That's very good.
so yes, that is
It's
important. So
it saved my life. I know a lot of
right.
people have stories like
Exactly.
that, and it's important. And
Exactly.
there
Right.
are people who are unable to give.
Yes.
Okay,
Absolutely.
I'm not trying to guilt anybody into anything,
But if you can, then
but if
please
you can,
consider it.
please consider it. And yes, you're going to have a wait, and even with the everything, but they're doing as fast as they can, y'all. They every year they have like another. They figured out another way to get 10 beds in there to
Yeah.
keep going
Yeah,
faster
they
and
do. They're
more
they're
people.
really good at it. But yeah, so don't forget about that. Also,
Oh,
couple of two more things that I want to do really quickly.
no.
Parade. If you are watching this and you have never been to DragonCon, particularly if you have children, like I said, I used to work at a school, a K through 12 school, and people would say, "Oh, my child wants to come. They've seen that their friends have talked about it, whatever," and they would say, and I would say, "Have you? How old is your kid?" And they would tell me, and if they were not really a baby preteen, I would say,
Mhm.
okay, first thing you want to do, go to the parade on Saturday. It's free,
Right,
you know.
right.
And we usually get 80 to 100,000 people that are watching that parade, and it is amazing.
Amazing.
And it is amazing to see how our community takes care of those children. They put them in front so they can see.
Yes,
Um,
but
I'm
Yes,
just
but
saying, so they can see. And sometimes we have to scurry them back to the sidelines because they get excited about who they're seeing in the parade. Um, but it's awesome to see that next generation um, having that fostering the fandoms and that excitement and everything. So go
yeah,
there, and they come, and many people come down on the MARTA and they watch the parade, and then they go have some lunch, and then they go to the aquarium or
right.
the World of Coke, or they go
And
see that there's a 1-day badge that is available, and they come for the day. Um,
right.
and then I tell them they should buy the badge for the next year at the cheapest price, which is always at the
Mhm,
con and usually the week after. Um,
mhm.
and at the cheapest price of the year, and then wrap up that little thing as a gift and give it to them at Christmas.
Yes, because they saw
It's a
it
great
and they already
Christmas
enjoyed
yeah.
it.
because they've enjoyed it, and now they have something to look forward to for the next 8 months.
Yes, and and do when you have the kids, do, one of the great things is walking around during the day in
Right.
different areas. If you're in what I like to call the roundabout, when you're trying to get from the Marriott to the Hyatt or the food court, right behind that, they have the Star Wars track, and a lot of those droids will be out there.
They will.
And
They have a
you can
very
talk
large,
to
the
people.
501st is a very large contingent.
Yeah.
And the other thing I want to mention is please vote for the
Yes.
Dragon Awards. If you don't know what those are,
Yes.
please go look. And it's completely fan driven. It was originally started to have basically a reading / recommended list. We cover pretty much everything. We do literature, art, comics, and gaming, and even an illustration award for a book cover. So it is completely free. You just have to go to the Dragon Awards site, register. You do have to do a confirmation so that we know that you're not a bot. And then you can vote, and you can vote in as many of those. They're now in not the finalist part. People can nominate up through the middle of July. We are now in the point where you're voting. Voting happens until Saturday at midnight of the convention. We literally don't know who the winners are until after that time. You must register to vote by Friday of the convention at midnight. So, like I said, completely free. You do not have to be a DragonCon member to register. We really want this to be an open thing, kind of a viewer's choice, reader's choice award, because fans know what's cool. We were like, not every people all will campaign for certain things, but fans know what's cool. And there may be something that, like just a kind of hidden secret, and that becomes nominated, and it brings a lot more focus on it. Also, with the books, the Fulton County Library is stocking as many of those Dragon Award nominees as they can get in.
Mhm.
And you can check out the books if you're in Fulton County from them. So, and they have the reading list and, etc. So they've really partnered with us on that. So that's an awesome resource as well.
That is an awesome
And I
resource.
know
And
that we're kind of running out of time, and we should probably go to John's.
yeah, we probably should. And we would just want to say, Regina, as always, thank you for being on. We love talking to you. And I think
You are
it
very
shows how many we have a whole lot of people in the audience because they know you're going to get on the live audience right now because they know
that's
you're
right.
going to give some cool info.
Yeah.
So that's
Well, I
really cool.
try. Obviously, we have some fantastic programming. Download the app, and see what your favorite fandom is, how it's being represented, and we will look forward to seeing you at the show, as they say.
Can't wait. All right, John, ready for the Jackbox?
Yes, there was a request for Fibbage or Fibbage rather, or Quit It or Quiplash. However, with time constraints, we're going to go with our shorter game. So I've already put the code in our private chat there. If you find it, it's down at the bottom there. Regina's looks like a little
Will do.
bubble popping out.
It looks like the chat symbols.
Yeah.
Which
is,
is it the last one that was 5 minutes ago?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
There was one question from Brandon earlier. Does Garrett Wang still do Star Trek?
He does.
Okay.
He does indeed. However, he will also be appearing on stage this year because it is an anniversary of Voyager.
Oh, that is true.
And we do have three more cast members in addition to himself, but he is also guesting this year. But he also is a fan track director. And that was a funny story. He had been a director. He had been a guest, and he basically loved the convention and said, if y'all ever want to, I would love to be a co-director or something like that. And it just worked out that the next year we were looking for a director, and he got it. And so he's, I think, been doing that for like 10 years now. So, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you have been doing it
you're
a
in
while.
there.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and open up the.
Did I get in?
Yep. NGZI is the room code, and as I've said repeatedly, those of you listening, which is most of you, it's of no use to you now by the time you've heard this. But if you're live,
John's going to narrate it.
Yeah. Oh no, yeah. So we're gonna narrate, but yeah. All right. So there was a let's see. So earlier in the conversation, Brandon, when we were talking about fixing things in IT, Brandon says I fix things just by being present, just by showing up. Yes, that is an IT.
Sometimes
trick.
that is an IT power. I will
Yep.
say that at one point I was having to send payroll to something, and this was back in the modem days. And
Oh, my.
I did threaten the computer that if it did not send that time after I had tried to do it like 5 times because I wanted my paycheck, I basically said, if you do not go this time, I'm going to kick your screen in, and miracles it went.
You know, that's the one that sometimes you have to get to that point of threatening inanimate objects before they'll finally work.
Yes.
Really.
We have one more spot available. Oh, let's see. Yeah, Brandon also says, very active in our chat. An eternal membership is a great back-to-school gift. To which Karen says it only costs about a month of tuition, and another one says, "Who needs to save for college?"
They're kind of expensive.
They are.
They're
But,
like $4,500. However, then you have paid for your thing for Dragon Con forever. So as long as there's a Dragon Con for so.
Well, let's go ahead and get started here. Let me make sure you guys.
Can't hear it. Yep.
We're playing
I'll do this one.
Which topic will you be working with?
All right. So
vote now.
Those of you that have gotten to the room, the choices are blank man, memorable TV characters, or grocery must-haves. Vote for which topic do you want to do the high-low for. As a reminder, high-low, you're just basically
It's decided.
they surveyed a ton of people. Oh, TV character. In one word, who's a memorable character from TV?
Time to guess the best and worst of the list.
The first two are guess the top of the list. But you also want to
Remember, guesses should be one word only.
What he said. And also you don't want to split with others. So, because you lose points if the more people say the same thing. That's strategery.
Which does seem not really nice, John.
Well, I'm sorry, I don't make the rules.
Well, you should.
You're right, I should make all the rules. All rules should be made by me.
Here's the thing. Sarah is going through all these names, and they're like, no, wait, that's in theater. No, wait, that's in theater. No, wait, that's in theater. Or she's gotten locked up, and it's not letting her answer.
It's very possible she got.
Time's nearly up.
Sarah!
I've
there we
got
go.
all your answers. Let's see the results.
All right, Liv says Ross. That's number 11 on the list. Lemon says Elmo, which is number 16. That's
Well
really
guessed.
very good. Bart says Chris. So far, everyone's been into. Lee
Oh,
says
no.
Hawkeye. Oh my! It's on the list.
I'm calling that
144.
solid.
Sarah says Gilligan. Interestingly, only at 140.
I like it.
Homer, we're going all the way back up to the top again. Number 2 was Homer.
Oops.
Simpsons. Everyone's on the same line. 173. for
Looking
Simpsons.
good.
Spider-Man, Rachel, for 14. And Regina says
Oh,
Grogu.
dear.
Uh-oh. It is on the list, but for
Oh
45.
no!
Promising.
That's wrong.
That's
Lucy?
the same right.
Lucy
No.
That's
well,
wrong.
Lucy is 39. So,
Yeah.
Gabe is currently in the lead with 10,000 points.
It's lagging a little bit again.
Gabe?
Yes,
I don't even know what that is.
no. Gabe was the person who guessed. Gabe is
Oh,
A
okay.
person.
There.
Um,
Lee just tried to select something.
God, I don't even know.
I know that because she did it again. Lee, pick something on the list.
Okay. I do it a lot of times. I'm trying.
I mean, we have a whole entire series of fandoms to pull from. Some of them are very popular.
Yeah, but I thought Hawkeye would be.
But
I
none of
thought Hawkeye would be a lot higher because
I don't
both from MASH and from Marvel.
Yeah, I don't think. Well, that's true. I think it was only for MASH, right? Because it depends upon when they asked them.
Sure.
But I wouldn't pick anybody from Supernatural because they're probably not on the list.
Time's almost up.
Oh,
I'm
they'll
just
be
trying-
on there somewhere.
I'm just trying to get mad.
All answers are in. How did it play out? Oh
Let's see.
my.
Ricky is at 249.
Looking good.
Spock. Oh, Sarah Rose picked Spock. Why didn't? It's only 105. What?
I like
I
it.
demand retribution. Peter is at 5. SpongeBob is number 1 on the list.
Number one.
Rachel.
SpongeBob, wow.
Good job.
Oh,
That's
no.
not great.
A 147.
Looking good.
Batman. Liv. Batman. That's at number 6. Rachel. The other side of Rachel and Ross is number 9. Superman is number 10.
That was a short
Gabe,
walk.
Oh, wow.
Gabe gets it.
Oh, that was pretty
Brandon
good.
Does Fred, I assume Flintstone, is at 25.
Huh.
Lemon.
Arthur, Lemon says
Arthur,
Arthur,
okay.
Wait a minute, it's her name.
120.
It's the
Okay.
player name.
Chris is now in the lead with Rachel right behind. Oh. Now you're looking for answers that are low on the list, but are still on the list. One unpopular answer.
I'm
Unpopular.
trying.
Lee, just continue doing what you were doing.
I dislike you. Okay, I came up with a good one. It's not on there.
Well, I mean, it's easy to come up with ones that aren't on the list, that are not popular. This is actually the harder of the two tasks to do.
It really is.
Cisco? There for you. Here, a piece of- Apparently not.
Oh, how can that not?
Voyager. What was it? Oh, what is it? Janeway. Janeway. There you go.
That's not a low one.
I am so mean, aren't I, Karen?
I cannot believe I can't. Every one I'm coming up with is not coming up.
This is a good time to mention if you want to leave us a
Time's
voicemail.
nearly up.
Probably too late. 813-310 Tug. That's 813-321.
All answers received.
884.
How
And
did
all the
everyone
answers are
do? Promising.
Jetta?
here. Vegeta.
I don't.
What is that?
Oh no.
Lisa? Someone in chat, tell us what
Not
Vegeta
quite the assignment.
is. Lisa was at 24.
I like it.
Skipper. The opposite of Gilligan.
Oh, nice.
Was at 384.
Oh.
BB. Uh-oh, Brandon, you might have. Oh, but it's at 40. That's only pretty. George.
Lots of friends. Lots of friends.
George Costanza.
Looking good.
Joffrey.
Oh, Joffrey.
That's a good one. 399. 399.
Welp.
Bob was picked by 2 people at 17. Sam, I guess Malone, at 31.
Promising.
Or Eagle.
First Sam from Sam and Dean. Yeah. From Supernatural.
Miley
That
was
was me.
Lee. picked it up. Oh, Lee is in the lead. Lee is winning.
Hooray!
Well,
Yes,
Miley got it.
Now guess another unpopular answer. I wonder what Regina? What was it? What that is? I guess I do have an internet. Oh, that's fun. Here, I'll just tell you this story. So, one of the jobs that I now work, I work at a casino, and the internet went down today. As it turns out, most casino games are now connected via the internet. So, yeah, that was fun for everyone who was on the floor. He's taken the lead. The lead. The lead.
Ooh.
I appreciate Karen, even if nobody else does.
I heard you. Finally got one. And John, my battery's low, so I might be going to a different thing.
From Dragon Ball Z. Oh. I don't watch Dragon Ball Z stuff. I didn't.
No.
I am
But
familiar
now
with
we
the
know.
name. Now I it makes sense to me. Now I understand.
Time's
I'm
almost
just
up.
blanking. I'm just blanking.
Blanking blank.
I know, it's like you can come up.
Kramer. I think Kramer might be too high on the list. I was just thinking of all the
All
Seinfeld.
answers are in.
That's probably still gonna
First, we
be
have
too high on the list.
Which might be. Well,
Spencer.
I'll be absolutely tell you that I took that answer, that you suggested.
oh dear.
I
Gary.
could not think of anything.
Mike Contrary.
Stop.
Naruto, which is again an anime
No,
thing too.
no.
Urkel is at 60.
I like
Uh-huh.
it.
Alice, he has a diner, I believe. 34.
Welp.
Louis.
Oh my.
Joe from Facts of Life, I guess, was at 70.
Looking good.
The Rock, yes. 285 or 282.
Oh dear.
All I do is Kramer. 49. That's not bad. Let's see.
Rachel got ahead of me.
Rachel is.
Which
okay.
do you think is ranked higher on the list?
Which is ranked higher?
Choose now.
Scooby-Doo or Mickey? I mean, I think
Oh wow, that one's tough.
I wanted to say it would be obvious, but maybe it's not obvious.
I don't think it. Yeah,
Scooby-Doo
it
or
depends.
I like multiple choice questions. That's,
Well, at least,
Let's
yeah, I
see
do
what
would
happens.
rather really.
makes it a lot easier than trying to
Most
think of something.
people picked Scooby-Doo, which was 15. Mickey was our third best answer.
Oh wow!
Only 2 people picked Mickey.
And now let's see the entire top
I just
10.
figured that.
SpongeBob, Homer, Mickey, Bart, Peter, Batman,
And now
Patrick,
for our final
Walter,
scores.
Rachel, and Superman are your top 10. Lee came in second. The winner is Rachel.
Hey!
Hey!
All right.
Hello. Welcome back to the lobby. What shall we do next?
All right.
Yes.
Let's get out of here. I mean, I think you've got like things to do. How many times have you changed the schedule since we've been on the on this call? Like 6 times?
Close.
Close to 6 times. Yeah. That's a
I've
reminder, folks.
certainly got the emails about a change. in schedule.
That's a
There
reminder,
you go.
folks, that first of all, what first thing I should always mention is it's important to remember that that most everyone, except for a handful of people, are volunteers at
Yes.
DragonCon. So be nice. Keep that in mind when you're talking to somebody.
Nice.
Yes, the volunteer lanyards this year are red. So if you see someone wearing a red lanyard, those people are selflessly giving of their time to help your convention
Be fun.
be all it can be. So
Yeah.
they and everybody likes to be thanked.
Mhm.
Everybody likes to know they're appreciated. So
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I will leave you with something that we started at the very beginning, which was Brandon pointed out: ask for pictures. Cosplay is not consent. They had somebody try to take pictures of them while they were trying to eat dinner, and that's not what they wanted to
yeah,
have out there on the web. So
yeah, they
uh,
want to present themselves in the best way possible. So
I saw somebody put me in my Wonder Woman costume years and years and years
Mhm.
ago, and I went and they took it from behind, and it was nobody asked. Not cool, people. Just be cool. Don't be a jerk.
So there's that, and the last thing I'll just say is remember to check the app. Even check the app when you're on your way to to
A panel.
a panel.
do whatever you're
Whenever you get, as soon as you get up.
Whatever you're trying to find.
and choose just have a backup plan.
Always have a backup.
Yeah.
Even if that backup plan is you're gonna go get something to eat.
Yep,
You know?
exactly. There was one last interesting question. If there's something incorrect in the app, is there somewhere that they can write to let them know? Is that
Well,
like an incorrect location
I
or
think
something like
there's a
that?
feedback on that, but
Okay.
yes, you could. I mean, honestly, if it's at the convention, we're all running the convention, so it might not be able to be
Yeah, it might be able to be
immediately
fixed.
fixed.
Yeah. And by the way,
But
that's probably going to get picked up by. It'll probably also be noticed, but
yeah, if you report it on social media, sometimes that they and my
okay, cool.
social media
That might
directors
be.
are probably
Yeah.
going to kill me for saying that. But if they say,
Yeah.
"Hey, I've noticed the problem," they usually will surface it to somebody. But we've had one or two things like that. Occasionally, things the very first time, the very first load on the app
Yeah.
will not have all the features picked up.
Right.
They won't be turned on yet because they're just this is kind of the shakedown. So some of those features like I'm in this location, what's here, kind of get turned on around now or the Monday one, the Monday, Tuesday time, um, just to keep the traffic not from
Yeah.
bogging everything down too much. So,
Right. That makes sense.
yeah,
All right. Well, again, Regina,
a
thank you for
guide.
taking.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah,
Yes.
it's like they're a
Schedules are more
guide.
like a guide and all wibbly wobbly, timey wimey. So,
I mean,
Yeah.
um,
Yes.
Regina, again, thank you for everything that you do. It's much appreciated, and I can't thank you enough over the years for taking time out, especially because you're always our last guest, and it's always
Always so
right at
busy.
the edge of
Always so
Dragon
busy.
Con, looking over the abyss and taking time out for us is I'm very honored to have you here, and thank you
We really
very
appreciate
much.
what you do because I mean, you give all of our different track directors and stuff a voice, and they get to talk about the things that they're so excited about on their tracks.
And
So,
pleasure.
and we appreciate that. You're part of our community, and you're going to have a panel this year.
Yes,
Yes, we
apparently I was not aware
Today.
of that, but yes, we will be having a
Yes.
panel.
Yes.
And so now I've got to
Well,
prepare
that
something.
might have had something to do with me. So
I'm
I'm
that,
just saying,
we
hey,
suspected. We suspected as
we
much.
yeah.
suspected.
When
Thank
you
you.
were when you were giving me the hey, you need to sign up, and I was like, hold on a minute.
Yeah.
Do we have a panel? We can make that happen. So yeah.
Thank you very
There
much.
you go.
All right.
Thank you.
So until next time, which is
We can't wait.
probably a while's away, this is John saying for Regina and Lee saying peace.
See you at the con, people.
The
Bye.
con. That's right.
On 5 days as we're recording.
This was a production of The Unique Geek. Call our comment line at 8133210TUG. That's 81332108884. Email us at thegeeks@theuniquegeek.com or 50days@theuniquegeek.com. Follow The Unique Geek on Facebook and Twitter. This podcast is distributed under a Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial Share-alike license.
Okay.
Bra-
Bye.
Brandon wants to know
Bye.
if
Get ready. Get ready.
Brandon wants to know is the 2026
Okay.
app uploaded yet? Frank, Frank.
There's
Drink,
shenanigans.
drink, drink, like y'all need
There's
to
a
get
very
this.
shenanigans.
Yeah.
Yeah.